After an episode where I realized the ReZero fandom doesn't like Liliana and Princess Priscilla as much as I do. So it's back to the man with the best troll emotes. Emilia pulls up to save these wives. Number 79 speaks with number 184 to save those that have left behind their sense of self, hope, and dreams. How do you save them? How do you save those that have been trauma bonded to a person that is seemingly invincible? How do you get these people to regain their sense of individual purpose with the will of their own? It's the equality of hate. Where one does you wrong, you come together with like-minded individuals where you all had to experience Regulus blast your family and friends into smithereens. It's time for all the spiteful wives to come together to show Regulus that with Emilia and Subaru, they can all hit him where it hurts the most. Right for the nuts! Each wife realizes they were all just living in fear with just a fragment of hope left within them, that possibly they can be saved someday. And this is the day. One by one, each wife gets up to vent.
Fuck this guy! Yeah, fuck that guy! This guy killed wife 69, and I really liked her.
All Emilia sees in here is hate, 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 hate! And so number 184 finally reveals her name. It's Sylphie. What a nice name. She smiles in front of Emilia like she's Ningen once again. When the world comes together, it usually involves body heat, something that Regulus clearly lacks. With Face the Boob, Emilia, along with her lesser spirit, discovers that Regulus's actual heart is attached to the hearts of some of his wives. I kinda wish there was a more exciting way to discover his ability, but it is what it is. And if I want to be super serious with you guys, it's like Regulus's power was really like a metaphor, telling the wives that they all had the power all along within themselves. Meanwhile, Subaru, as if anyone actually believes that Subaru had a chance in a physical fight, he has mastered the art of the weasel and do-overs. However, like any good villain, leverage is your best friend, which means in order to defeat Regulus, the wives may have to collectively self-yeet themselves to ensure victory against the Sin Archbishop. And that is something good guys can never let happen. And it happens to be the perfect bad guy thing to do. And so before all the wives can pick up a piece to end their suffering, Emilia stops them. Like literally. Just like our MC, he gotta do what he does best and weasel his way into gaining the advantage by underhanded means. Have we not learned anything from Flamme and Frieren? You can't show that bad guy what cards you're really playing with. Regulus goes pew, but Subaru goes
fuck you.
Then Emilia goes
fuck you too.
Regulus makes fun of this mass murdering Lucy Coochie half-elf.
53 wives.
That's how many that Regulus had to tie down, which angers Emilia to many levels above Daikidai. This might be the worst kind of NTR situation, as it looks like Regulus's heart has literally found a new home attached to Emilia's. While Emilia is ready to take her own life, Regulus continues to flaunt his leverage and makes fun of poor Juicy. But what Regulus grossly underestimates is these unseen hands! Subaru grabs Emilia's heart, and we get one of the few moments we've all been waiting for Emilia to realize where the juice has been all this time. Regulus is finally vulnerable with his heart squished by another Sin Archbishop's juice. Emilia grabs her hammer once again and tells Regulus to put some respect on Petalo Juice Romane Conti. Regulus keeps asking how Emilia and Subaru has his greed authority, but Emilia coming in with a really high kick, and then proceeds to give him 53 shades up before Emilia delivers the finishing blow with Uruhuma. Regulus still has a sneaky ability to be invincible for a brief moment. After getting the pounding of his life, Bro pulls up like a sore loser, asking Subaru and Emilia to 1v1 him. There's nothing like a sore loser that gets pitied. By pitying Regulus and accepting his challenge, Subaru sends him Reinhard! And so Regulus goes blasting off once again. Regulus's true trauma is surfacing once again as a guy that can't take responsibility for his own actions. With all the wives he's taken and all the hurt he's given, he has finally faced his retribution. Regulus tries to use his lion's heart as Reinhard smacks him back to earth, but the ground of the earth goes further than what Regulus can hold out for. As he starts to drown, he remembers who Emilia was in that backstory. With Juicy, a part of Subaru, and Emilia all grown up, they finally get to avenge Fortuna. Like how it is supposed to end with all the wives being unfrozen and alive, we have to make sure we end this episode by glazing Reinhard, cause he's totally a cheat code. With Subaru, Emilia, and Reinhard finishing their end of the battle, Priscilla, Liliana, and Kiritaka finishing their bout with Sirius, it's time for Wilhelm and the gorgeous tiger to defeat those from beyond the grave. And this ended up being one of those longer ReZero episodes. I forget sometimes when there's a lot of action and tension, the time flies by pretty fast. And if I was to give this episode legitimate criticism, I'd say as a whole the episode was good, but all the best moments that should have been the best moments, they were okay. If you guys are like me that prefer over the top dramatic moments, Subaru figuring out to take out his unseen hands, and Emilia realizing that Juicy has kind of been there this entire time, at least in spirit. It felt like it could have been more of a spectacle of a moment. It's kind of a big deal that Subaru, her knight, is connected to Petero Juice, who basically acted like her uncle. That is a big connection, and so it kind of just happened. And to me, Regulus has to be the villain that we probably hate the most up until this point. He messed up Emilia's backstory, helped turn Juicy into who he is, providing all this tragedy for Emilia. Then we have the guy that's at least like half responsible for Rem turning into a potato. Rem literally saved that like entire arc when Subaru was crashing out. There's a reason why Rem is one of the most liked and popular characters in ReZero. She was like that light at the end of the tunnel that kept us keep watching that damn story when it was shit. This guy, Regulus, was partially responsible for taking her out. He is responsible for like the majority of our angst. So I wish they dived a little bit deeper into Regulus's backstory. And I wish they kind of upped his agony before he died. The more painful it was for Regulus, the more satisfying it is for us. This is a guy that we wanted to die for like the longest time. And so those are two of my biggest criticisms for this episode, because those are two of the biggest moments I think in the entire story up until this point. To me, into these main characters, those are so significant that I just wish that it was just more satisfying. It was good, but could it have been more satisfying? I think yes. I wanted to feel the unseen hands moment, and I want to revel in that bastard's death. I just thought that all of us were all waiting for this moment, and I wanted it to be as spectacular as possible. But overall, still a good episode. It's the same kind of criticism that I had for the previous episode. It could have been more spectacular, but what we got was still very satisfactory. And everything else in the episode was fine to me. We're here to see a fight, we're here to see Regulus's powers, and we're here to see him get defeated. And all the check marks hit. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode of ReZero. I would love to know. And do me a favor guys, hit the like button if you feel satisfied with Regulus's death. And subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusen.com. And I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.